announce the proclamation officially. So this is a proclamation of the City of Clarkston recognizing Somaliland's human right of self-determination and sovereign statehood. Whereas understanding that the Somaliland peoples who live in Clarkston contribute to the social fabric of the city and value their human right to self-determination as a people, for Somaliland to enjoy fully recognized status as a sovereign state by the international community, to include the United States and African Union. And whereas recognizing that since 1991, Somaliland has had a democratically elected government and president. In this time, there have been 5 elections and changes of president. And whereas acknowledging that because the international community has failed to recognize Somaliland's right to self-determination and sovereign statehood, Somaliland has not been able to receive much needed international aid. Whereas benefiting from the fact that Somaliland has safeguarded international waters, preventing lawlessness such as piracy for decades, and whereas recognizing Somaliland will aim to strengthen cooperation in the fight against terrorism, extremism, piracy, illegal fishing, toxic dumping, and other serious crimes. And whereas appreciating the fact that immigrants have provided the United States with unique social and cultural influence, fundamentally enriching the extraordinary character of our nation, and whereas supporting the Somaliland's government's belief that recognition would entrench democracy in the Horn of Africa, and whereas understanding that immigrants have been tireless leaders not only in securing their own rights and access to equal opportunity, but have also campaigned to create an equitable and more just society for all Americans. And whereas believing that marketing Somaliland as a safe tourist destination, primarily cultural and ecotourism, could also emerge as an important segment of the Somaliland economy. And whereas understanding that despite their countless contributions, the role of immigrants in building and enriching our nation has frequently been overlooked and undervalued throughout our history and continuing to the present day. And whereas recognizing Clarkston's Council will be the first local authority in the U.S. to recognize Somaliland. However, other local authorities such as Sheffield, Cardiff, and Tower Hamlets of the United Kingdom have also done the same. And now, therefore, I, Mayor Ted Terry, on behalf of the City of Clarkston and its City Council, do hereby proclaim that today is Somaliland Independence Day.
The motion hasn't passed it yet.
So, is there a motion to approve?
Yes, I have a motion to approve and adopt for proclamation recognizing Somaliland human rights of self-determination and a sovereign statehood.
I second that. Second. All in favor, raise your hand, say aye. So we have all of you, your beautiful faces in the crowd, and we want to take a picture of this moment. Why don't the council come to y'all? Everyone stay still, maybe stand a little bit, and anyone who's our photographer, let's take a photo together, okay?
Let's do this!
Since 1979. Lived in Georgia since '88. On behalf of all the Somalilanders who are here today, and the rest of Somalilanders in the entire globe, from Europe, Australia, the US, Africa, and all around, we want to take this opportunity to thank the City of Clarkston for the proclamation that you are about to undertake about the sovereignty of Somaliland. Mayor Ted Terry, City Manager Keith Barker, Council members Andrea Cavone, P.T. Bell, Jamie Carroll, Awed Iasa, Ahmed Hassan, and Mario Walker Williams. We do appreciate it tremendously. The train has moved. It is not if one Somaliland will be recognized as a sovereign nation, then when. The train is moving towards its final destination for Somaliland to become a member of nation states and take its rightful place in the UN, the AU, and other world organizations. And as far as I know, Clarkston is the first city or the first government entity in the US that has undertaken this proclamation. Once again, we thank you and let us work towards going to the state capital of Georgia and many other states until we go to the U.S. government's recognition of Somaliland. Thank you.
My name is Sami Abdullah. I appreciate you so much. I just want to tell you that my people of Somaliland is watching you live, even though it's early in the morning and middle of the night. It's 7 hours difference, but people are tuned to Clarkston website tonight, watching these historic events, because this is the right of the human rights, people's human rights for self-identification. And I know, Mario, how that is important to you, but I want to thank you all and tell you this is on behalf of my government, on behalf of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Somaliland, and on behalf of the Diaspora Agency and all my people back home who are tuned and waiting to be seated and waiting for equity and justice to be done and for the case to be heard, because they've actually fulfilled all the requirements to be a statehood. And this is really a historic event. You have no idea how this is a time in history that would be written about Clarkston as a welcoming place and a place where we feel that it's a home, and all of you are not just the mayor and the city council members, but also personal friends. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. I'm not going to give a history for the Somalilanders because they know why they're here. I'm just going to give a little history to my friends, Clarkston citizens who are here today. In 1960, Somaliland gained its independence from the British colony and joined with the southern Somalia, who gained their independence from the Italian. They together made Somali Republic. Unfortunately, on the 1990, that government collapsed and the country went to anarchy and chaos. That's when Somaliland went back and took their independence back. Although unrecognized, the international community, Somaliland has its own flag, parliament, currency, national identity, passports, army, police, constitution, transportation, and all legal systems for government functions for 25 years. Its presidents come to power through much contest election, sometimes won with the narrowest margins, unlike many other African countries. The result are respected even though the opposition wins. After 25 years of self-governing, with a population of 3.5 million, without recognition, Somaliland people are arguably one of the most stable, peaceful, and democratic places in Horn of Africa. If you hear Somalia, if you hear Al-Shabaab, if you hear Black Hawk Down, if you hear bombs up happening in Somalia, that is the southern part of Somalia. Northern part of Somalia has been peaceful for 25 years. We're hoping Somaliland to be recognized as an independent nation. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Aniga oo ku hadlaya afka Soomaali.
Go ahead.
I'm a refugee person, and I want to explain to my people for what I'm saying Somali. Marka aniga oo u mahad celinayo dhammaan Clarkston madaxdeeda, meeyarka iyo kansalada, waxa aan leeyahay waa ku mahadsantihiin meeshan Clarkston oo ah meeshii aan ka bilownay nolosha. meeshii aan ka bilownay nolosha 25 sano markii waddankayagu lahaa helay inuu gooni isu taago, ka horna aanu ka soo qaxnay waddanka koonfurta dagaaladii sokeeye ee ka dhacay Soomaaliya dhammaan oo ku fiday. waxa aanu maanta halkan isugu nimi si aanu meeshan aanu deganayn ee ah Clarkston ee aanu ku noolayn sidii 1990gii qaxii aan soo marnay kadib nalagu soo dejiyey sabacana naloo soo dhaweeyey ayaanu waxaanu ku faraxsannahay in Clarkston ay noqotay meesha ugu horeysa ee aanu ka codsanayno ama maanta aanu
Miyan dib yaraan ku dhibay calanku